I love the early quietness in the mornings, and I have about an hour and a half before my kids wake up each weekday. And during that time, I'm really careful about what I spend my time doing. After getting my husband's lunch ready to go, pouring myself a cup of coffee, then I go ahead and I start work. I do my YouTube and blogging work, and then I do a little bit of exercise, and finally I spend time reading God's Word and talking to Him. And I've found that those are the three most important things for me to do in the morning. One of my favorite time management books is called Eat That Frog, which is based off of the quote from Mark Twain, where he said, "If it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. And if it's your job to eat two frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first." So in other words, do the hardest things first. And so for me, some of the hardest things to do, especially when my kids are awake, is working, exercising, and reading my Bible. So I have found that my frogs are the things that I need to get done first thing in the morning. If you've seen my videos previously, then you know that my bedroom has been rearranged. We changed up where the bed is. Normally it's on the wall with the bookshelf over there, and we just flipped it and put it over on this other wall. So when you walk into the room, you see the bed and it's just so much more open, and we just love the new setup in our bedroom. Last week, I shared a video about how you can decorate your house for free. And my very last tip was just to clean and rearrange your room or your space that you're wanting to kind of redo. And that's what we did in our bedroom. I would love to paint in here. I would love to add different wall decor. But for now, just rearranging this bed and the other furniture. My husband's desk is in here and the dresser. And just moving those things around makes the room feel so much better. And now every time we go to bed, we're like, oh, it's so cozy in here. We really love the new feeling that it brought just to rearrange. Whenever we would visit my grandparents growing up, my brothers and I were always in charge of doing the dishes after meals. And we kind of would rotate where I have three brothers. And so usually there were just two of us that would do the dishes. But I remember in particular helping my grandmother in her kitchen after the meal. And we had washed the dishes. And I remember her telling me one time that after you wash the dishes, you should wipe down the stove and the countertops because there's always things left over from cooking the meal. And I did not know that. We didn't practice that in my home growing up. I didn't know that just simple homemaking advice. And I remember her telling me that probably as a 9 or 10-year-old. And it stuck with me for such a long time. And it's still something that I do today. Whenever I clean up the kitchen, I always wipe down the countertops and wipe down the stovetop. I love that I have that memory of my grandmother's and just a simple lesson that I can carry on today and teach my children. Here is most of our grocery haul. I started out at Aldi, so I grabbed a loaf of bread and some eggs, and then needed to stock up on some cheese, and my son had requested guacamole, so I grabbed that, and just one thing of butter. Usually I get it from Costco, but I wasn't running in there today, so I just grabbed one package while we were there. Some Greek yogurt, my son loves these, and then some pan spray and some oats. I was out. Grapes were on sale. I always get half and half for my coffee, and normally I like to get it from Costco, but like I said, we weren't going in there. I grabbed a pound of the pork sausage. It was on sale. Also grabbed a little bit of produce. I like to have salads for lunches, so I grabbed some salad, Mini cucumbers were on sale. I grabbed some tomatoes and then bananas for our breakfast smoothies. I needed some more coffee. And then my son got braces this past week, and so he's having a hard time just with, eating different foods. He has to eat soft things. And normally I get him the beef sticks, but there's a harder wrapping around it. So we're going to try this salami and see if that's easier for him. And then he requested just some canned fruit so that would be easier on his teeth. So that was Aldi. The rest was from a local grocery store called Super Saver. I grabbed a couple of these because the pork loins were on sale, and I'm going to do those for Easter this year. Their sausage was on sale. We really like the Italian sausage for pizza, homemade pizza, and then the country mild for sausage and gravy, biscuits and gravy. Blackberries were on sale. My husband requested a lemon cake. It's his favorite, and it takes a box of lemon cake mix and a box of lemon pudding. So I'm going to make that for him sometime in the next couple of days. Ice cream was on sale, and it's been warmer out. It's supposed to be a high of 86 today, so I grabbed some of that, and then we also needed some more hand soap refill. I did grab 2 more things from Super Saver. This is an 8-pound bag of navel oranges, and it was only $5. And this was a 15-pound bag of potatoes, and it was only $3. So I know we're going to use all of that, and so I went ahead and grabbed them since it was such a good deal. Sometimes when we get home from the grocery store, I don't have time to actually wash all the produce and prepare it and just get it in the fridge. Sometimes I just end up throwing it in the fridge drawers and then having to wash it right before we use it. But it's always so nice when I prepare it ahead of time and I wash the fruits and vegetables and cut them up. So on this particular day, I did wash up the grapes and then I cut them into small bunches so that they're just easy to use for lunches and then snacks. Sometimes if I have grapes or I'm not gonna go ahead and wash these cucumbers and cut them up, and then I also had some blackberries this day and I washed them up, and just having those done and washed and in bite-sized servings, it's so much easier to grab those and eat a healthier snack than it is to grab a cookie or something like that. Because so often I want to go to whatever's easy. And so doing this just helps me to make healthy eating a priority for myself and for my kids. My family actually prefers these mini cucumbers over regular sized cucumbers, and they were less than $2 at Aldi this past week. So I went ahead and grabbed them and then cut them all up. They're just such an easy snack, almost like healthy chips if you want to eat them just, like a snack. But I'm cutting all of those up and getting them ready to go. And it's making me think about summer. This summer, I'm going to try my garden again. And I think I'm going to do a couple of cucumber plants and a couple of tomato plants. Just keep it simple and easy. And hopefully this year I'll actually grow some edible food. In the past, I have tried it and it just did not work out. So we'll see how this year goes. But I finished up cleaning in here, and then the next thing I wanted to do was get some clothes washed. And these are clothes that I had gotten at a consignment sale that same morning. I went grocery shopping, and then we went to the consignment. Well, actually, we went to the consignment sale first and then went grocery shopping. So there's always a pin or multiple clothespins on the clothes that I have to take the tags off. It's just a long process, but I got all that done and then went ahead and washed all of them so that they were ready for the kids to wear. We did stock up on some more summer clothes, lots of shorts and short sleeve shirts. And now it is freezing again. It was 80 degrees that day, a high of 86, I think. And then just a few days later, it turned into the 30s and we felt like winter again, but that's okay. I know summer is coming and I just wanted to make sure that my kids had the right amount of clothes for when the heat comes. And I'm always so thankful for the consignment sales that happen twice a year because I can get such good deals on these clothes for my kids. Like I had said earlier, my husband had requested a lemon cake. He loves this lemon bundt cake that I make, and usually I make it for his birthday and then also for Father's Day, but he was just in the mood for it. So I said, okay, I'll go ahead and make it. We don't make it very often, but it is a simple recipe. It's a lemon box cake mix, a lemon pudding mix, and then it calls for 4 eggs and 3/4 cup of water, and then 3/4 cup of oil. And I gave up using canola oil and vegetable oil. I've been trying to use more natural oils instead of these, I guess they call them seed oils. And so whenever I do some sort of a muffin or cupcakes or cake of some kind, I use melted butter instead of oil. And it's the equivalent measurement. So 3/4 cup of oil is what it calls for. I used 3/4 cup of melted butter, and it turns out great. We love it. And so anyways, then you bake it in the oven at 350 degrees for 45 minutes, and it always comes out looking so good. To make the icing on this cake, I just juice a lemon, and then I use lemon juice and powdered sugar, and I just mix it up until it's the consistency that I want it to be. I always err on less of the liquid and more of the powdered sugar, because if you make it too liquidy, then you just have to keep adding more and more powdered sugar. But it's always so pretty, and then it tastes delicious. If you are wanting a lemon cake for the spring, then I highly recommend this cake.